Alright, hello. So, this is meant to showcase traversal for Batman Arkham Knight using Gamepad and Keyboard and Mouse as a showcase. Uh, they pause. I turned off the audio in the game just to make sure it's clear. Gamepad controls, there we go. Alright, so, make sure. Alright, so basically, here are the gamepad controls for Batman, Pursuit mode, that's in the car. Uh, yeah, so. And here are the keyboard controls. Let me just swap to that. Crouch, grapple is F. Call the Batmobile is E. And the inputs are hide and so forth. And F to control. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to show the gamepad version. So basically, there's a lot of different nuances that they have in their inputs. So you can obviously run or press the run button to hold, run. Sorry. So if I hold A, I run forward, that kind of thing. I can also do this where I flick the thumbstick back and forth and I'll just be able to do this. It's pretty fun. Honestly, I think it's fun to be able to make Batman dance like this. Uh, so, yeah. All right, next, you can also slide by tapping the running and slide and tapping the crouch button, which is press and hold. You can also tap it for that slide. You can also use it for dip, going onto a ledge. It will transition to that. What else? You can also just automatically mantle onto this and be able to climb things. Uh, so yeah, if I do this, uh, I think it has like a very quick sort of requirement time of holding forward before you climb. So that's why it doesn't have him just kind of standing there. It's like automatically you want to climb this. I can also hold A and he will just jump off that and then go into a glide. Uh, if Batman is falling also, he will just glide. If I double tap A and move forward, well, if I double tap A normally on the ground, he'll do a dodge. If I do that on a ledge, like this one or over this, he will roll over and then it'll just fall. If I hold A, he goes into a glide. So if I'm falling of any sort, then I will do that. All right. When I'm grappling up, I can also just kind of chain grapple them. What else? Just do this. So if I'm gliding, I can pitch, hold left and right to turn, sort of thing. If I move the thumbstick to the left or right, it just kind of reorients it so it's kind of locked to where he's moving. He's always moving forward, even if I'm pulling back, there's no change. If I move forward, he pitches down and move faster down. Uh, Let me just do some movement really quick. So as you can see from these little white trails on the side, that's how you know he's kind of moving faster. If I hold left trigger, it flips the camera to angle up so it's in a free look sort of mode, similar, but yeah, allows me to just kind of look above me. So I can tap it a bunch. It looks jarring. If I press and hold right trigger, he doesn't dive. I can rotate around. I can pitch, roll, or pitch and then rotate by meaning rolling the character. Do that really quick. So roll, it spins, kind of thing. Oh, so here's an interesting thing. Yeah, that's an interesting case that the grapple kind of breaks in those kind of weird situations. So there we go. Eventually it snaps out of it, so they added a lot of safeguards clearly to their grapple system. You go up here. Uh, Also, you can upgrade the grapple to get a boost. So you can, while grappling, tap the A button a bunch, and you'll get different levels of boost. I'll show it again. Uh, Falling, you go over here. I have it cold right now, so I'm going to grapple, double tap it once, and if I press and hold, oh, I tapped it again. But you can actually see if I double tap it and then just hold the button. All right, fly up, that kind of thing. If I'm falling, no fall damage because he just uses his his cape to parachute essentially. So if I don't pull back on the thumbstick, he doesn't flip backwards, he just goes forward. That can be a detriment sometimes, so that's why I usually just hold back on the thumbstick and then he flips around. And even then you can see the animation like doesn't necessarily lock to uh, him being on the pedestal, so you can see him do the animation after he's already launched clearly. And it feels fine. Like it feels comfortable physics wise, but animation wise there's some dissonance. So that might be a case where the animation just is wrong. It could be obviously replaced with just like a fancy kick immediately. Uh, and then it would do the thing, so it doesn't even need like an animation playing as he's interpolating out. Uh, yeah. So how do I know if I'm able to get those fancy like trails while I'm after I've dive bombed? So I'm gonna do this, let it drain out. Do drain out. Come on. All right. So there's no more momentum. Now I'm just kind of casually gliding. I can't go up further. I'm gonna dive bomb, and the camera's shaking. So usually by the time the camera's kind of settled is when you're able to dive bomb, release the dive bomb, and just kind of get the boost of movement. Uh, so you can also do it while just going downwards, like so. All right, so next I'm going to show the Batmobile integration with gliding. Whoop. Oh no. All right, the Tim Burton Batman, apologies. So uh, they have a afterburner boost thing to it. Sorry, my cat might come into the call into this video. Let me move around the way. All right, so you can actually charge up similar to the when you're doing the boost where you just hold the A button. And you can see in the bottom right, super eject, where you hold the A button and then you press it again to launch. So if you combine that with moving forward, I launch very high. And it scales based on how much you pressed it. So as you can tell, I'm pressing it a bunch. Um, what else? I think that's generally it with that. Uh, while I'm grappling up, I can cancel it, but if I have the boost active, I cannot cancel it. So if I'm doing this, I can cancel it, you know. But if I have the grapple up engaged, I cannot. Right. And it does require a minimum distance for each boost level, so that way you can't just like launch yourself from like right, here. You can't just be like maximum boost immediately. See? So that's an important aspect. I'm using Gamepad just because it feels better for me. Personally, I don't use keyboard and mouse, so that's why. What else? While gliding, I can also use the uh, zip line, which is, or this line launcher, to uh, basically cause this like trip line, uh, this line I can walk on while walking. Um, I can spawn it anywhere while gliding, as long as there's 2 points on both sides. The way I can activate it is by holding the left thumbstick while I'm gliding. So I'm going to do it again. You can see from the inputs, it does have a sort of maximum distance, so I'm going to do it over here, and I'm pressing it, and there you go. You can also do a sort of like drop to line launcher, which will cause this, and I can escape, and yeah, there we go. If I press and hold, he just automatically kind of clambers and lands on stuff. Let me show you this, so that way, yeah, it very seamlessly transitions too, which is nice. Uh, okay. Let me find something that he can just climb on. Yeah, on these boxes, maybe. So yeah, he just automatically runs over them, that kind of thing. He will climb onto stuff as well. uh, like that. He'll jump and then just snap onto it. So let me repeat that so you can see it. All right, there we go. And snaps on. And I can also just like jump onto it and, oh, no, it's too close. All right, let's try that again. Let's go over here. Nope. All right. Well, this is helpful for just understanding the movement. See, if I don't hold forward, he just kind of lands on it. If I hit B, then it cancels that climb, etc., etc. What else? Yep, he has a very high jump. What else? Let me see. I think that's generally it. Let me call the Batmobile. So I just automatically started moving towards the Batmobile, by the way. I didn't actually press inputs. He has some automated movement features that he can do where he'll navigate to it. Uh, I can also just jump out of the Batmobile uh, like so and just send it out into the water. If he lands in the water, he'll just grapple onto something he can climb on. Um, Here, let me call the Batmobile again. And this is by pressing the left bumper, so it's basically the enter Batmobile, eject Batmobile. So I'm gonna press it again. It does that. When he has the cape, it looks a lot more stylish, but this is just to show the character itself. So do this and that. There we go. Kind of skids out. If I'm standing still, the Batmobile comes to me and he just hops in. If I'm stopped, he just gets out. It's a little bit finicky though on their implementation, so like he doesn't really climb out. Like it's sometimes it's buggy. Another feature is if I'm running and then call the Batmobile, he will just automatically get picked up by the car. Some of these features they don't explicitly tell you, but I very much enjoy these games, so I learned all these things. What else? Oh yeah, let me show you what happens. Cool. Get out of here. All right. All right. So enter Batmobile. He just kind of climbs in automatically. It's an auto transition, uh, etc. Oh yeah, here's a really, oh dang it. I was gonna show you guys. He can also climb onto destroyed objects, or partially destroyed objects. Let me see if I can find something that he can climb onto. Uh, Usually those staircases are a good example. Oh, here's one. Right, so I'm gonna take a chunk out of it. Okay, so it actually does affect the mesh, and he has trouble climbing it because it's not a stable ground. So I think they tagged it where you can't really climb that. But because of the physics of the character, you can just, it's just a regular mesh at that point with regular collision. There are cases where you can climb them, just if the physics allow for it. So, um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it with the Batmobile and Batman's locomotion. There's also Catwoman, who has a different locomotion in terms of the grappling. She doesn't have a glide, obviously. And yeah, what else? Trying to think if there's anything else. Um, all right, so yeah, if I steer left or right, it's based on the player's input. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna swap to keyboard and mouse and then kind of showcase the difference there that I can find. Okay, so let me walk over here and swapping over now. All right, so here we are, keyboard and mouse. Oh, this feels weird. All right, so F, mashing the space bar, holding that. So using left and right and all that stuff doesn't really work. It's just where the camera is oriented. It's trying to do its automatic rotations and so forth. Uh, If I hold right mouse button, then it looks up, etc. If I hold control, then he's dive bombing. Yeah. So we call the Batmobile. There it is. All right, using keyboard and mouse, so it's the WASD. Can drive around, much more like normal car physics or normal car games. And you can see the super eject buttons in the bottom right corner, so that one is going to be holding space and or tapping and holding space, etc. So, like so, and then I have now launched. Yeah, feels very weird because it's like you can get these kind of situations where he's just constantly trying to rotate to the camera. So it doesn't really feel good, at least from a developer standpoint, but it feels okay from a player standpoint because they can't really manipulate it too badly. And his rotation is already very aggressive with it. So it definitely has a weird sort of timing feature with uh how it handles like diving and transitioning out of that. So you end up holding control of the space and then releasing control. It just feels kind of weird uh, as a user or as a developer. For the see holding back, yeah. So holding back while using the grapple boost on keyboard and mouse, that will cause you to do the backwards flip launch behavior. Wait, let's see about slide. All right, so slide and tap. Yep, same sort of expected behavior. Yeah. So the controls do transfer pretty seamlessly for keyboard and mouse. It's pretty much control and space, left control and spacebar, WASD, and the camera, which affect Batman's movement pretty much. Uh, yeah, should be good from there. So, yep. Hopefully this helps.